So it's Tatiana here from Anila Hair, and this is going to be a slight follow-up video to the last video I did. As you can see here, this is the wig that I straightened. It's about a week or two later. I think I did that video last week. So as you see here, the hair is straight. It does have a nice, very nice natural poof to it, I'll call it, but it really mimics probably African American 4A texture hair. And I'll be using my Goody detangling shower comb. And I did trim the ends, so that's why I'm having less a problem detangling the hair dry. Even though I do recommend detangling the hair while it's wet. And over here is, you know, the curly side as you saw in the previous video. And it did hold up pretty well because I actually just like tossed the wig in the corner, forgot about it. But I did want to follow up because I did have some customers, you know, that asked me, does the curl come back after you wash it again? So that's what I'm going to show here. And then there's a second part to the video where I'm introducing a Brazilian Kinky Curly. And I'll be doing a comparison video. Whereas actually I'll show you really quick. So this is the Brazilian Kinky Curly. I'm actually going to phase out the Indian hair because I do think that the Kinky Curly will be better in a Brazilian or Mongolian texture, because the Indian hair sometimes can be problematic to people that are new to the curly textures and detangling and of that sort. So I'm going to do a test on this hair, showing you how to wash, condition it, detangle it, and showing you the hair dry to see, you know, is it more coarse, and my opinion of it. So as you see here compared, it's actually the same curl pattern. So this is a 1B, but it's actually closer to the dark brown. This is the dark brown up here. And as you see right next to it, it's the same curl pattern. So no change, just a Brazilian texture. All the hair is, you know, soft and easy to work with. It's just that, you know, you have to get practice at it. And this is coarse. So I'll be doing a two-part video, one on washing the hair and then two on washing and detangling the Brazilian Kinky Curly hair that I'll be introducing to the site. Okay, so I had to trim the ends on the other side. And I actually shaped the hair. I will do pictures so that you could better see how it came out. So the hair is still wet with the conditioner. I like to detangle hair only when it's saturated heavily with conditioner. And as you can see here, I had to pull out my trusty Denman to get those curls to pop. I don't recommend using Denman all the time because it, you know, can snatch the hair out. So when you're detangling the kinky curly hair, you will know that you have to trim the ends because it'll get caught. It won't just slide through the brush, and it should. So starting from the ends up, work your way up. And it should just seamlessly go through the brush or the comb that you use. But again, I can't emphasize this enough, you have to trim these ends. It comes from people that are, you know, unfortunately from a third world country, so they don't have the hair care regimens that we do. Their hair is healthy because it's untreated and unprocessed, but they don't, you know, do the trims and regular maintenance like we do, you know, here in the US and in Europe. So if you do notice, if you have any snatching, or then you have to go over that part again and trim it. So as you can see, the curls did come back. So this is the side, the left side, that I straightened originally in the video. And as you can see, the curls are back there. So I did do the conditioning. I did use the Denman to get the curls to pop back in a little bit stronger. But please keep in mind, like I said before, it's not a wet and wavy texture. So it's not meant to be straightened and then go back to curly, straighten, go back to curly. It will loosen the curl texture in time because the curls are processed. This isn't a natural curl pattern. You know, Indians, Brazilians, whatever, they have straight to a natural kind of body wave hair. but no one has a kinky curly hair. So please keep in mind, yes, the hair is processed for color and texture, and that if you straighten it too often, it will lose its curl pattern. It'll loosen up into more of maybe like a deep wave. So this is the side that I straightened, and I will show pictures right after this, and then we're going to get into part 2 of the video. Okay, so we're back. This is the wig again, and I just wanted to show you I just washed and conditioned the Brazilian Kinky Curly that I'll be trying to transition over to. So hopefully, so I'm just doing a comparison. This is the Brazilian curl. And the hair's still wet. I'm going to actually blow dry it. And this is the Indian Remy Kinky Curly. This is still wet as well. Let me try to do a comparison. That curl versus looks the same to me. So this hair, the hair that I'm shaking, that's the Brazilian Kinky Curly, and this is the Indian. See, this has, you know, a wave, as does the wig. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what I'm going to use to blow dry the hair. I'm just going to dry it, but I'll show you the perfect tool for drying kinky curly hair, or any curly texture. Okay, so I'm going to be using my Turbo 4400 Ionic Ceramic Nano Tourmaline blow dryer, and my Conair Pro diffuser. Now I'm not going to dry the hair, you know, touching it or anything. I'm going to leave it the way you see it here. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to show you really quick on a medium setting. So the middle one is the medium setting, and on a medium heat. So just watch what I'm going to do, and this is also a good remedy if you have naturally curly hair and you want to dry your hair. You don't feel like going outside with your hair dripping wet, or you don't feel like plopping it overnight for the curls to settle. So this is another good method. So I'm going to mute this because this blow dryer is extremely loud. Actually, I forgot to mention, the only thing that I'm going to do, how I'm going to dry it, is I'm going to place the nozzle downward. I'm not going to touch the hair at all. And I'm just going to go downward. Because you don't want to mess with the curl pattern. You want it to stay the way it is, but just for it to dry. Okay, so I used the diffuser and I lightly dried the hair. So it's really no technique, but I just made sure I tried to keep the air going in a downward flow because that seals the cuticle and it also adds the shine that you see here. On the ends, I just took my hand, as you see here, and lightly put the diffuser on the hair so that it could blow, you know, dry the ends better. But again, there's no scrunching, there's no, you know, a lot of people do this, I can't see it, but a lot of people do this with the diffuser, like that, to get the curl definition. I mean, you can do that, but with hair like this, it already has a curl pattern, so it's not necessary. So I just go down like that, and then for areas you see, you feel that it's still dry, just take your hand like that, and it's just like this. I barely have the little combs in here touching the hair, as long as the heat is going on there. And the purpose of the diffuser is mainly for curly hair. As you can see here in the little air holes that they have, it diffuses the flow. So instead of, I'll show you really quick, instead of the hair blowing like this, with the diffuser, it's like this. See the difference in the air pressure? And that's what you want with curly hair, because you want to try to minimize frizz as much as possible. But what I do like about kinky curly hair, like even times when I've worn my hair curly, I like it to just be full, but not a frizz mess. And it's all on learning how to work with the kinky curly hair. So if you ladies ever have any questions, you can always contact me, because I mess around with hair a lot. You know, so most likely I'll have the answer if you have any questions, even with your natural hair, whether it's straight or relaxed. Just ask me and I'll do a video on hairstyling, weave hair, my natural hair, you know, whatever you ladies want to see. But that's basically it. So it's probably about 95% dry. At this point, you can either continue to keep diffusing it. It does take more time because, as I showed you the difference with the air pressure, it is a lighter pressure, so it does take longer to dry the hair. But the purpose of that is minimizing the frizz. Because as you see here, I don't see, there's no frizz. And if you see like a piece like this, a little bit of frizz, just add a serum on it, wet your fingers, and go through the hair like that. So again, you don't want to be plopping and plunking and, you know, scrunching the hair like that. It's not necessary. Not especially with hair that's already curly. Now with your straight hair and you want to add some waves, that's when you use the diffuser in this method with the hair in it. So that's when you would, you know, go like that with the diffuser. So that's basically it. I'm now going to diffuse the Brazilian Kinky Curly hair and show you ladies in comparison between the two. It's actually pretty similar in the curl pattern and the look. It's just that the texture is a little bit less likely to tingle. But again, if you prefer the Kinky Curly hair in the Indian Remy, just make sure that you clip those ends. So as you can see here, I clipped the ends all over the hair. You can see how nice and defined it is now. Because before it was, you know, very frizzy on the ends. So this hair, this part right here is still a little damp. But see those curls? It just looks very natural. And that's what you want with your hair extensions. So it's all about styling. So again, if you want to see any styling tips, you know, on how I manipulate the hair, just let me know. So see like this? My hand's just going right through it because I clipped the ends. So this is the Indian Remy curl, Kinky Curly hair, the tighter curl. And see those ends? I really like them. They're nice and defined. The hair has a natural body to it, as you can see here. So I'm going to get back to diffusing more hair, and I'll be back with a comparison in the Brazilian Kinky Curly and the Indian Remy that you see right here. Okay, so in here what I did, I have the Brazilian Kinky Curly in here. What I did was I wrapped it in, this is a microfiber towel, so it absorbs, it's made specifically for hair to absorb any moisture that's in the hair. As you see here. So I'm going to diffuse it. Again, with both of the textures, I didn't put any leave-ins. So I'm just going to do this natural and raw. This has a little bit more natural frizz to it. But let's see how it comes out once I diffuse it. The Brazilian Kinky Curly Remy here. So as you can see here, there really isn't much difference. It's just a different origin and texture. And the Brazilian hair seem to have detangled a little bit better. However, if you see at the end, you still need to trim the ends. But the hair, see, it just, to me, it blends right in, and is the same as the Indian Remy. And the curl pattern as well. It's just that it's Brazilian origin, and the Brazilian hair is easier to detangle. As you can see here, there's no product, and I'm just running my fingers through the hair. So that's the difference. Easier to maintain and detangle. And this is with no product. So of course you would add product to get more curl definition. This is just the inner part of the weft. And it's 3.5 ounces. And this here is 4 ounces, but I split the weft. So I probably gave myself about 8 ounces for a full install. So again, I'm going to put it next to the Indian Remy here. And as you can see here, same curl pattern, just different hair origin. I'm just trying to make the kinky curly hair easy to deal with for my customers, because some people are new to the kinky curly textures and they have, you know, issues detangling it and such. So I said, let me just try another hair origin and see if that works a little bit better. So as you can see, this is it here. I didn't use a Denman or anything to like really get the curls to pop. This is just a wash and conditioning. And I dried it with the diffuser, and I put it under my hooded dryer to dry the rest of it. That's about it. It's the same amount of softness. I don't want to touch this too much and mess it up. But it's the same amount of softness. This is a 1B, but it's still closer to a dark brown, because up here is dark brown, so dead on match. Down here is the jet black hair. As you can see the contrast here. You see the jet black, and you see the 1B is closer to a dark brown. So that's about it. I just wanted to show you ladies the hair in a live video in the curl pattern. And again, I didn't put any products. So as you see here, this is the fines, because I, you know, did process, I deep conditioned it, I trimmed it, and I didn't add a leave-in either, but I added the conditioner longer. This one I just did a rough, you know, a rough test of it to see how the curl pattern is, you know, how the hair behaves. So I like this as well. And it is very easy to run your fingers through the Brazilian textures, I'm noticing, more so than the Indian. And that's about it. So that's the conclusion. Little 3-part video. Just wanted you ladies to see that the hair, which is, this is the side that was straightened, that the curl can come back. I'm also showing the shape of the wig, because I trimmed it and clipped it up a little bit. As you can see here, for example. Now, with the Indian Remy here, now, since I trimmed it, now you can run your fingers through that as well. See the curl pattern. Zoom out a little. They're both very pretty, the Brazilian and the Indian Remy. I'm just trying to offer more options to customers. You know, they want to try different hair textures, but in the end, it's all pretty much similar to one another. It's just a difference in cost. because Brazilian hair does cost more than the Indian Remy hair. So it depends on what my customers want. You know, if people decide that they want the Indian Remy, then I'll stop stocking the Brazilian hair. But for now, we'll be selling the Brazilian hair, and the Indian Remy I have on clearance. So that's about it. Hope you ladies enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching.
May I come in?